Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you for hanging with me on this, on my video channel here on YouTube. This is the 100th and actually 7th video that I've done so far. Now, actually, there's something we need to get straight here. Donald Trump is never going to be the president of the United States ever again. You know why I know this? Because right now there are 3 investigations that will bury him financially and figuratively in his political ambitions of regaining the White House, regardless of what he said at CPAC. There are 3 ways that Donald Trump could be buried right now. He may be able to escape 1, maybe 2 of them. He's not going to escape all 3 of them. He's not going to escape them all. The first one, his taxes. Obviously, everyone knows that the New York DA has actually got a hold of his taxes. He hasn't released them. They haven't released them to the public as of yet. But sooner or later, we're going to find out what Trump's spending on and why he didn't pay them. So the question becomes, what does Trump have to hide? What did Trump have to hide that he had went all the way to the Supreme Court to fight for those taxes not to be released? We're about to find out soon enough. The second way is, of course, was January 6th. The Washington and D.C. district attorney is actually investigating whether or not Trump's speech actually may have riled those people up to start an insurrection that led to the Capitol invasion. My view, it has. In my view, it did. And let's not forget the fact that Trump's, I should say, former best friend, Moscow Money Mitch McConnell, said that we could actually charge him criminally. That was before he decided to give his unwavering support for Donald Trump this past week before a CPAC. After that little statement of Donald Trump's blasting him about how he is a terrible politician, he was terrible for Kentucky, how dare he, I gave him his support, I regret it. Washington, D.C. might actually end Donald Trump with a criminal charges, especially considering the fact that 5 people died on that day and 2 others died later on. The third way, obviously, is probably going to be the one that buries him the most. The phone call. His phone call to the Georgia Secretary of State, in which he asked for an exact amount of votes, 1 more than Joe Biden, to swing the state back to Trump himself, in a bid to hopefully overturn the election to his favor. Now, I know the law, and sometimes I have to actually research it, but according to federal law, tampering with an election is a felony. So by that phone call, which is in Donald Trump's voice, mind you, regardless of how perfect the phone call was, or perfectly just the phone call was, no matter what Donald Trump's and his supporters' excuses are going to be, he made the call. He broke the law. He's going to get punished. But there's just one more thing that could possibly bury him that just happened this past weekend at CPAC. Him naming names about all the Republicans, not to mention the Supreme Court, that he said that in his twisted logic thinks that they sinned against him by not overturning the votes, by not giving him the election, even an election that he, by the way, lost. The popular vote and the Electoral College vote, which prompted the January 6th attack. At CPAC, he was a private citizen. He wasn't protected by presidential legal protection. He named names of Republicans that sinned against him, that said, no, I don't support Trump anymore. Yes, I support his impeachment constitutionally. He practically, I didn't watch the entire speech. I probably should, but frankly, I think I'm going to get sick to my stomach if I do. But from what I've heard and what I've read, actually, a good portion of the transcript from that speech, he was threatening another insurrection. And now we got QAnon people screaming that March 4th, which actually makes just a little bit of sense, but considering the fact that no president has been inaugurated on March 4th for over 150 years, I'm not sure how that applies. But the real problem is that Trump is trying to start up another insurrection under the guise of patriotism. But we all know what happened on CPAC. He was trying to bilk more money out of his supporters. But those are the 4 ways that Donald Trump, his political career, could be destroyed. The tax case, which probably he can probably, there's a good possibility he can get himself out of. Criminal charges stemming from the January 6th, from his speech on January 6th, all the way to the insurrection attempt, all the way to the breaking into the Capitol, all the way to the 5 people dying on that day, one of them happening to be a police officer. The third way, the phone call to Georgia to find a way to overturn the election, which is illegal. And obviously the 4th way, his speech, riling up his supporters for another deadly insurrection, another terrorist attempt. I don't see how Trump is going to get himself out of this. Like I said earlier in this video, he may be able to dance his way out of one situation. He may be able to dance his way out of 2 of those cases. He is not going to get out of all 4 of those cases. And it's time for Donald Trump supporters right now, because I've talked to him a lot during this weekend, during the CPAC weekend. They are still convinced, still wholly convinced that Donald Trump is going to become president once again, and he is not leaving office. That's not going to happen. Trump's political career is over. Now, the only way a Trump ever gets back in office is one of his kids gets in. And that's even a very, very small possibility. But Donald Trump, Sr., since Junior Butthead or Beavis, or whatever you guys want to call him out there, is gone. That's your only hope for Trump ever going back in the White House, is one of his kids going in. You got 4 cases against you, Trump. Well, 3 official cases, 1 more case that could possibly be brought against you, thanks to your CPAC speech. You're not getting away with this like you got away with everything else, Trump. And your daddy's not here to save you, as he always has. That's it for me. CTP, know the truth. God bless. This is the first time I'm going to ask you all to do this. I'd like you to share, like, comment on my videos. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me where things are gone wrong in my videos. Because I don't get everything right the first time. I don't get anything right, and I need that kind of feedback to steer me straight. Thank you again for following me. And God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.